Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Raft series. Today we pick up the action. We're here at the next location, which as you can see is a gigantic boat. So I would suggest you strap yourself in, get your favourite boat shoes on, and let's join the action.
Heard from the captain. We're heading for one of the high-rises down south. I can only hope you come to your senses and follow us. You knew the city was a failure, Ruben. Why do you always have to be so stubborn?
Now, this boat area, it is big. So in the early parts of it, you will see me rushing along a little bit, because I know that if I dawdle too much, I may run out of light. 2 headlights are easily enough to do this, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty of lighting for everywhere else. So, yeah, anyway. Now, a bit of a quick catch up here. We are going to be coming across quite a few of those rats. There's a bit of a story behind them, and you'll get that from some of the audio clips that we'll play during our exploration. They are savage little sausages, and from hints in a previous episode, they are the reason why I suggested you try and make at least one piece of armor before you start here. It'll take a bit of the stress off the combat. I mean, they'll still kill you, they'll just take a lot more hits to do it. Before we came in here, we ate one of the new meals that we'd made, which, as you can see, even a few minutes in, we are still very comfortably in the yellow when it comes to the food side of things. And we drank one of our familiar coconut beets, and that is comfortably holding in the blue. So it's a good idea to do that. You do find a little bit of food and drink in here, but not enough that I would want to rely on it. I still have 2 full water bottles, and I have 20 cooked potatoes. So we're not going to run out of food in a hurry, but by the same token, we're not going to want to AFK for half an hour in this place, lest we end up using a lot of food that would have a better purpose, you know, while we explore. Now, there is a lot of non-interactive stuff around. I mean, I'm looking very intently around the place, and other than that key on the wall, which was admittedly, in retrospect, probably not quite as obvious as maybe it could have been, most of the stuff is really obvious, and it will glow in the dark and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Now, I still can't believe I didn't see that key, but that's fine. I do know that I come back for it. The experience of advancing through this boat is reasonably linear. There is a little bit of going up and coming back and going up again as you need to assemble a few items as part of our explorations. Yeah, a little bit of to and fro, but for the most part it is reasonably linear. It's just the boat can be a bit confusing to navigate.
Ruben, the yacht is ill-prepared for this journey. We'll have left space for a dance floor, but no space for supplies. The bottles sure found their way to the bar. As a military man, I thought Olaf would at the very least be practical. Yet they're all treating it like a luxury cruise. I'm sorry, Ruben. I shouldn't have left.
Yes, this is the bit of the journey where I realised I was missing something and I couldn't remember for the life of me what the next thing was that I needed to advance. Whether it was the key or the bolt cutters or whatever the story might be. So I'm having a bit of a look around because I am more than a little rusty on this. But we are going to find that key in a moment here in the back of the bathroom. Yep, there it is. Cool. Alright, so we've got our red key. We can now go through that door and find out what other interesting little tidbits are awaiting us. Alright, I would categorise our progress in the boat as under the title Some Assembly Required. So there are 2 workbenches here and they each tell you that we need certain things to complete those tasks. One of them requires mechanical parts, the other requires lots of things.
I saw a large rat last night. Unnervingly large. I tried telling the crew we obviously have an infestation among the lockdown supplies. They laughed at me. I miss you, Ruben.
The captain keeps complaining about my route. If he does it again, he will be reprimanded. The crew doesn't listen to orders. I'm shocked by their undisciplined nature. Somehow they believe rank and prestige disappeared with solid land. No, they will not be allowed to mingle among my esteemed guests, and they will certainly not be allowed further rations. They should be grateful. I am the only reason they are alive.
Well, there's a dude that, has a artificially inflated opinion of how things work. Anyway, that's probably not the last of the notes that are going to sound, self-important, I guess. Anyway, we're sort of in the upper decks now, and doing a bit more exploring. This is the area where you don't really need the torch per se. I mean, at night it does get pretty dark up here, but during the day there's usually just enough light you can navigate and do what you need to do. But for recording purposes, I deemed it was going to be too dark, so that's why I'm persisting with the head torch for as long as I can.
What does that mean? You can't just fire them. We're out at sea.
Hanna, you were brought to keep the engines running. That is what you...
That That's one of those damn rats. What are you doing to it?
Get out! Do your job.
That's right, you should never get between a creepy dude and his rat. You never know what you could be interrupting. Actually, let's not go down that road.
As I've suspected, the crew is completely incompetent. Now they're claiming rats have eaten half of our supplies in a matter of weeks. I promised them increased rations if they could bring me one of these ridiculous lurkers alive. Of course, the food shortage will need to be handled. Tonight we're discussing which staff members are most suitable for termination.
We're going to continue our explorations up here. Yeah, there's still a few notes around, a few other little things to explore. This is the alleged dance floor and bar, as well as we can actually get out on deck here as well. So, yeah, it is a pretty big boat. So, more mechanical parts. There's actually, if you look around the boat, so as in the water outside the boat, you will find more mechanical parts than what you actually need. So I think they've set it up so that you don't actually have to get access to every area of the boat to have enough mechanical parts. So yeah, just FYI. Yeah, the rats are kind of annoying. You've just got to time their attacks and try and, sidestep them so you don't get hit. As you can tell, I, managed to get hit a few times, but because I've set up the way I am, the damage I'm taking is not huge. So it would take quite a few hits from them to be anything more than a mild irritation, to be honest, but that can change very quickly if you end up with, 2 or more of them on you at the same time. So, yeah, just another FYI on that one.
These lurkers have potential. They were clearly once rats, now grown into something much more rabid, yet also smarter. I've already made progress on their training. With food and pain as incentives, I can discipline them. And by sharing their blood, the mutations increase. I wonder if another species would react the same. I've received a transmission from a place called Caravan Town, not far from here. They have an active animal population. No longer do I need this makeshift crew. I will create true soldiers. Loyal soldiers.
Yeah, the guy has issues, for sure. I don't think anyone's going to argue that. We're not going to delve into his psychology, though. The guy was just a bit odd, and that's all we really need to know. We're going to keep moving around the ship here and unlocking and progressing. We've just picked up the key card, and that we be able to get access to another area with that. So yeah, it's back to it. Yeah, that wasn't a typo. Yeah, we need something that goes bang. So we've now seen the two sort of side project things that we need to build on the two respective benches, like what they're used for. We need a car jack to move that, safe out of the way. And we need an explosive device to allow us to get into that door at the top of the stairs. So we're now going through the rest of the ship to try and A, not die to rats, but B, make sure that we can locate and retrieve all of the items we need in order to make the two kits that we need to come up with to access those two other areas.
It's urgent! There's mist now! We don't know how far the water's risen! The maps are useless! We need to... The crew are planning a mutiny, Captain! It is time to act. A mutiny? They're just trying to stay alive! Are you mad? I gave you a chance to live! Now we have to protect ourselves from the masses. We will use the lurkers to our advantage.
In the midst of all of this very serious doom and gloom dialogue that we are encountering regularly, that one has one piece in it that always almost makes me laugh, and that is the bit where he says, "Are you mad?" And I keep wanting to respond a la Rowan Atkinson in that skit, where he responds with, "I'm furious." But anyway, that could just be me. We've advanced to grabbing some more loot. As you've seen so far, and as you will continue to see, there is actually quite a lot of useful chests around, and that sort of plays into what I've said in a previous episode about making sure you've got quite a lot of space. And you can see already, if I didn't have the backpack, I'd be basically out of room already. So, yeah, that's why the backpack, I reckon, is just like a bare minimum for this place in terms of making extra equipment. Now, we're just having a bit of a look at all of the things that we've found, just to get an idea of our progress. We've got a number of mechanical parts there. We've come across, the bullets and all the other stuff. We appear to be still missing the cigarette lighter, so that's what we're going to go looking for now. Yeah, we're definitely missing the lighter from that other item, but we did have enough mechanical parts to make the car jack. So we're going to be able to move that safe out of the way and gain access to that part of the ship. Hopefully in that part of the ship we'll get the lighter, and then that will allow us to make the bomb. Because of all of the multiple layers in this ship, it is easy to get a little bit turned around and forget, which doors you've opened, which ones you needed keys for, etc, etc. That's probably the main reason why I would always recommend more than one head torch, because it's so easy to get a bit sidetracked or forget where you're up to as far as the ship goes. And you don't want to be panicking about almost running out of torch when it comes time to go downstairs and make the explosive device. So from that point of view alone, yeah, 2 is definitely the bare minimum as far as I'm concerned. But if you're, if you already know the place like the back of your hand, yeah, you could do it with 1 torch. Wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, took a few hits that time. They've got quite a reach on them for such a small critter. They sort of swipe with their claw, and it actually reaches a lot further out than you might traditionally consider. So, yeah, took a few hits on that one, but we're all right. We're still going. We're not sort of threatened with turning into some rabid varmint ourselves, so all good.
Cities in the blue, calling the cost of the project's realization borderline criminal and its scope outrageous at least. Despite vocal opposition, the Floating Cities project does not appear to be slowing down anytime soon. According to former General Olaf Wilkstrom's latest statement on the issue, we are fully aware of the strain this puts on our people. Nevertheless, our options are becoming increasingly limited. We must pull through this together, or join Stockholm beneath the waves. Wilkstrom refused to comment on the rumors regarding the modification of his personal yacht. When further asked about the Floating City project's whistleblowers, Olaf Wilkstrom chose to terminate the interview. Reaching out to these anonymous sources, we were able to further corroborate his story.
Get to the lifeboats! Hurry!
Olaf, you coward!
Watch out!
Yes, that wasn't your Steam, that was mine. It was coming up and telling me that I'd successfully killed a whole bunch of rodents, and I said, well, obviously, I have killed a whole bunch of rodents, because, you know, they're dead, and it was a bunch of them, and they're hopefully not going to come back to bother me again. Anyway, we still have our green key, which, actually have we? Never mind. We're going back into the basement here just to, now that, oh that's right, we got the cigarette lighter. Ugh, you can tell it's after a work day, can't you? Yeah, we got the missing piece of the bomb. So we're heading down into the workshop area down here on the ground floor, and we are going to assemble the bomb, and we are going to use it to go and knock on one of the doors upstairs. Tell you what, that food lasted us a while, and the drink. So we managed to get this far through, which is, wow, basically 30 minutes of playtime since we ate them. And we still weren't in danger of starving, but we were getting low enough that Just to avoid chances of tapeworm attacks while engaged with other things, I thought, I've got the extra food. I am running lowish on space. I may as well just, have an eat, have a bit of a meal, have something to drink, and then I won't have to worry about it again for probably another half an hour. Anyway, we've made our way up to the door. We are using the bomb. The timer on it is not very long, which is why I didn't waste any time barreling down the stairs to make sure I didn't get blown up as well. Now, this opens us up into, I guess you could say, the bridge, and there's quite a lot here on the bridge. Alright, and that pretty much concludes our explorations of the ship itself. I did notice we've got that recorder still. I don't know if there's something I did miss that involves that recorder. If there is, look, leave me a comment down below. I can always go back and do it later. If there isn't and it's just some random thing that you get to keep, hey, that's fine. It's because it's sort of storyline, stuff. It doesn't actually take up any room in your inventory, so don't care whether I've got it or I don't. Anyway, I'm just ruling out the ability to jump up the top here. I couldn't remember if you can do it or you can't. Given it, I failed on a couple of attempts, I'm going to assume you're not meant to go up there, and I'll just leave that be. In the meantime, we've still got a bit left on our head torch, so we've just dropped that in our inventory to conserve what's left. Rest assured, there are at least one other situation that will come up where head torches will become important. It won't be for a little while yet, though, so we'll end up chucking that one in the chest to save it for a rainy day. In the meantime, we're back on our raft. We're going to do a bit of an unloading session here. We got a lot of stuff. We got a few recipes. We got some food that we're not using. Materials. We got like 5 metal and 5 hinges. That is awesome. Yeah, we're just going to speed things up a bit while I file all of these great finds where they need to go. And then we'll wrap this one up. Yeah, I thought it was time for another couple of chests. Some of the more common components are starting to demand a chest of their own, so that's what I'm going to do. We're made a chest that we can chuck rope in, and similarly we're going to split out some of the other stuff into the other chest. So that is going to help out, save a bit of juggling, and I'm sure that won't be the last chest that I end up making. There'll be... I don't know, potentially another food-related one down the line. Hell, even the metal stuff at some point. I may end up splitting the copper and the iron out into their own chests, but we'll soon see if that's going to happen. In the meantime, we've reached the end of this episode. I want to thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.